What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Refine. Super excited to be here because we're bringing you real conversations that matter for our everyday lives. So today I have someone who is no stranger, of course, to my platform, of course, and I know you guys know her.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm back.
So I was not gonna do the introduction.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people know you, but I want to do an introduction today.
Yeah.
Because when we're shooting this today, something different happened.
Yeah.
Right? In your space, in your ministry, in your whatever.
Yes.
So for those who may not know, this is Lady Lovebug, but I would like for her to introduce herself again. You might hear something different.
Again. Well, this is Lady Lovebug One, as many of you guys may know me. I'm super excited, and like B said, something cool happened today. I unveiled, everybody knows that I have a community platform, social platform called Married Girls Club.
Yeah.
But today we have unveiled and we have transitioned to it now being called For Every Her. For Every Her.
That is so fun. That is so fun. That is great. That is such a huge step. So I can't wait for you guys to explore all that this new bigger circle has to offer.
Yeah.
So let's get straight into it. Today we're going to be talking about something that we really don't talk about. I'm a meet you at your front door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet you at your front door. We're speaking about couple friendships, right? The good, the not so great, and also how to be there when one couple sadly doesn't continue their journey. And the reality is, then you ask yourself as a friend, and maybe you might be in that situation where you see if one family not being able to fight through it and make it, but then what happens to the dynamic of this community that you guys have built. So I think that's really important. And we're gonna chop up today. So let's get straight into it.
I love that you're having this conversation, because these are real conversations that we don't think we ever need until something happens.
Yeah.
And then we're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
What happens now?
What do we do? But before what happens now, I want us to talk about the benefit. Now, I think it's very important for us to know that you're nobody's forced to have a couple friendship. If you're married or whatever, you're not forced to.
Never.
But for those people who they are wired like that and are happy to have community, then this is for them, so that they know how to navigate it, right? I always say the videos that we have, or the conversation that we have, don't have to appease everyone. But even if it's for the one, that's what matters. So there are people who get into marriages, and they're more than welcome to do life however they feel like doing life. But some of us love to do our life together, and then we also love to do it in community. I have found that there's so much great benefit when it comes to community. So let's talk about the good parts.
Community multiplies strength. Oh, I'm so big on strength being multiplied.
Yeah.
Because one thing about community is, when me and mine at that point are at our lowest, it could be a mental breakdown, it could be an emotional breakdown, spiritual breakdown. We have a community that will carry us where we are weak. It's like the two do that for each other, but there's a time where the union is weak itself, and you need the community to do that for you.
I've loved how, for me personally, I've seen community step up. So we have friends, my husband has his friends, and I've had my friends. And in a very organic and beautiful way, we've been able to create this community where everybody gets along. So it's not forced. But I have seen moments, the reason why it matters for me is because I'll say it from my experience, those men that my husband calls friends, if my husband is not around, those men become the protector for me. They feed me. I remember when I was pregnant, the one time, one gentleman, one friend took me to my final gynae appointment. He stayed in the car, he slept, and he waited for me because I couldn't drive. I was like knocking, got her to giving birth. And I think that's amazing, because my husband had to work, he couldn't be there, but you have people that you can call and they can be there for your family. I've had instances even now when a friend is around our neighborhood, he calls, can I pick up the kid?
Sure.
So I think that's an amazing thing, right? I think it's great for not only presence but also for sharpening.
Yeah.
And just overall growth and standing in when there's conflict.
Oh, love it, Kesana. They love it so much.
I think because we're friends,
Yes.
we're able to be in each other's business.
Yeah.
But the beautiful part about it, when you have sober friends, they're able to come into your not so great places and call your partner to order. And we've experienced that before.
Oh, we have. I mean, there was a point where Buli's like, I am driving there and he's going to hear me. You know, it's not nice. It's uncomfortable because it's like you letting people into a private space in the four walls of your home. But sometimes there are blind spots. There are blind spots that either of you have. And you need this very community to say, but do you see I left? This is what maybe you're not getting right. And we need that. We need that strength. I'm saying it multiplies that strength that I'm able not to get out of my home and feel like I've done wrong and I don't know how I'm gonna mend whatever's happening in my marriage. And then I have you and your husband driving to me and say, but okay, how can we sort it out? I think there was a point where you and Kev drove to my place. And you sat us down and you're like, guys, what is the business? What's going on? And it was late.
It was late.
It was late. And we live 2 walls apart. Like in terms of distance, we're like walls apart. But at that point, it wasn't about distance. It was about the covenant. It was what mattered. It wasn't about Ulebu or Uluyanda. It was about what matters, which is the covenant. And this is why I say community multiplies strength.
I love that. I think when you find the right people, because we'll get into the wrong people, but when you find the right people, they really not only get into your business, but help you guys. And I think that's something that we don't understand. Social media has played a role where sometimes we just have friends because it looks good. But then when things fall apart, you don't know how to manage that. We're not truthful, like truly cultivating healthy relationships and healthy spaces. Are couples forced to? Do you feel like they need, in your opinion? Is it your opinion, your thoughts?
Hey, I know everybody's so liberal lately. Everybody's like, you can get married and have, you don't need couple friends and have your single friends. I do agree. I'm not saying you can't, but having a community that understands your struggle is so good. Because the seasons change and it's going to change around the circle. So when you go through something, you're not shocked by it. You're not scared. It's not gossip. It's real life. So I think you need a community. Marriage-friendly friends are great. Whatever phase you're in your life, you need that community. Like if you're a single mom, a single mom community is beneficial for you because they understand when you can't fit your child at school, when you're not getting this, and they understand they're not going to judge you for your mishaps. They're going to be like, okay, no, I get you, I've been there. So for whichever phase or season you're in, a community for that stage in your life is necessary.
So let's talk about then the not so great parts or the blind spots that can actually happen when you find yourself in community, because there are that, right? We're dealing with humans. We are dealing with
There's a lot of those
who live in a flesh.
They
have their mind and they make bad decisions at times. And as much as there are perks, there are also not so great
disadvantages.
There are disadvantages to it, especially when you meet people whose hearts are not in the right places. So let's discuss some of the cons, if we're being honest, of couple friendships. And I think one of the cons that pop up to mind is comparison. The reality is, when you do have couple friends, let's be honest, sometimes comparison locks in.
Oh yes. Have you seen them? Have you seen Buli and Kev? Have you seen what they've achieved? Rona Risad, yay, we're still here. Look at where they are. Definitely. It's human. It's human. It's flesh. It happens. But I don't know. I can't say you have to fight against it. You need to revisit your heart posture. Why am I here? Because flesh will get to you. It really will. But they just bought a home. And they've been married under so many years. We've been married so many years. We haven't. We're still in an apartment. You know? And it makes it, or we get into conversations. I know we've gotten into conversations since we've had our circle. We have our circle still. You have conversations where people utter things not because they want to hurt the next couple, but they just utter things carelessly. Like, oh, we can't, you guys can't still be living here.
You must move, man.
You must move.
Yeah.
You know? And Lebo didn't think about it. But now she gets home, she's like, actually, why haven't we grown? You know? So stuff like that starts planting seeds like comparison, which is a big thing. But it's again having to come back to your heart posture. Why are we here? Why these people? And also sticking to your own lane, remembering what our journey is, because not our journeys are not the same. And the mandate of God in our marriages is not the same.
Yeah.
Why are you guys here? You guys have a mandate that God has put you for in the kingdom. Same thing with that couple and us. So it's coming back to that, but it takes a bit of a while, I guess.
Do you think someone should leave the friendship if there's comparison, like your husband is better, and then I go home and I'm like, but Kev, when I want what do we do with those kind of friendships? Do you think then we should because obviously that means I shame, and I don't even think that they would do it intentionally. They're living their lives. But if I'm the one on the outside looking in and saying, I want that, why doesn't that happen in my marriage? That can also cause a rift between the friendship as a whole and cause animosity between friends, because that does happen. That you look at how remember, like we said, every relationship has strength and weaknesses, and just is managed different. I remember telling a friend of mine that, and she would probably know exactly who she is when I mentioned that. I'm like, dude, what your husband, and not even like in a weird way. There's an instance where she's cooking Sunday lunch for us, right? And she's missing some ingredients. So she's like, okay, she's asked her husband, time, I need 125. Okay, husband goes and gets 125.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I forgot the Knos knock stock pot. And he's like, that's the car twice.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot it. Cool beans.
He's back at
3 times. I was like, my husband would never. It's one and done. Forgot the beans, we'll eat food without beans.
Yeah.
That's just how he's wired. He doesn't like up and down. He just doesn't. So I know how he's wired. And I don't think, it's not a character flaw. It's not going to make or break my relationship. I just know how he's wired. So when I saw that, I'm like, it's actually really cool to see something different, like dynamic, how willing he is. But if I go home and take that information and say, you must become that.
Sure.
Then it becomes the issue.
Then it's definitely not the friend, it's you.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
Yeah.
You now need to check within.
Yeah.
That do you understand why we're here? Do you understand why you're there? Do you, not even why we're there, do you understand your husband?
Yeah.
Do you understand the character? Do you understand your character? Because it's so lovely to see different dynamics in relationships, and you celebrate them, and you go back home and you talk about them. And if it's something you want to implement, that's great. If
it's not, a good principle, like if it's a good value, not because
you're comparing and you want to be better or you want it the same, then you need to check the condition of your heart. Then that's where the problem becomes. What is the condition of your heart? Why are you there? Because now I'm looking at everything Buli and Kev are doing, and I'm like, but when there's a story my pastor likes to speak of, and I think I'll forever use it. And he speaks of this woman, every Sunday when she got to church, her husband used to open the door. Every Sunday. And every woman would see, ubaba kuyavula mos umnyango. Uyavula nangu Lebo uyaphi. Wena why? And then one day this lady opens the door for herself. And then everybody's like, oh, they had a fight. Oh, there's trouble in paradise. Then the ladies at the church went to rush and talked to her. Are you guys okay? Because, I mean, this is the good couple in church. I mean, clearly something's wrong. Are you guys okay? And she's like, yeah, why? She's like, no, we see you open your own door. Why? And she's like, no, I couldn't open it because it was malfunctioning. It was broken. He's the only one that could open the door for me. That is the only reason he was opening the door.
Mandeni Naniti goals, Marumyangu is broken.
So the problem is, and I'm coming to that, sometimes we see superficial things.
Yeah.
Things can be very superficial.
Yeah.
And it's a thing when some couples don't want to show their all. They show you what feels enough to show you guys. That has you
But are they obliged to? And that's also another thing. Are they obliged
They are
to?
not obliged to, but if you see everybody in the circle being very vulnerable about things, and it's not just one or two, more couples are opening about things they could keep to themselves, and you guys stand back as maybe you guys are not supposed to be there.
I think that's fair.
I think maybe you guys are not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
because now we're thinking,
because if we're all wearing swimsuits and you're swimming with ipogati,
oh my love,
yeah, I don't think you are in there.
It's not fair. It's like Instagram. It's like a perfect picture. All your friends see is a perfect picture. But we don't see what took the BTS.
Yeah.
Who was trying to get everyone together? Who was trying to remove the fluff on the suit? Who was trying to... We don't see that. And it's not fair if you're building true community.
So when it comes to boundaries, how do we build healthy boundaries? Because let's be honest, sometimes boundaries can get crossed. So one thing about me, I'm gonna watch me some Moja Love. I'm gonna watch me. And there's a series called I'm With Your Ex. And sometimes these people who have to go to their friends and say, hey, I'm with your man because you didn't like him. You kept complaining about him, you know? And I feel that for myself, that honestly speaking, when the one person was oversharing, they didn't really establish good boundaries within themselves.
Yeah.
So what are some of the boundaries that people cross when it comes to couple relationships that could be like warning signs, dare I say?
Yeah.
Because I think for me, one of the things that I do, I won't go to another person's home dressed like I'm at my house. Yeah, that's just something within me. A very typical example. I went to an event, and it was we had Pilates at that event. So obviously you're wearing gym stuff, and everything is shaped. Everything is shaped. You're wearing gym wear. But I'm going to another woman's house, and her husband is there. Yeah. So when I was outside in the car, and these are very good friends. Yeah. Like, so when I got out the car, just in their driveway, I'm putting on iskipa esi. Just tada. No, am I crazy? Because I feel like for me, that is a boundary that I don't want to assume. And I think the best of you, but I also know that we are in the flesh. And one thing I'm not doing is planting the wrong seeds, and not in your household. So true. That's on me. So true. I'm going to take responsibility for what I can. But then there's the conversation, what happens when we go on holidays, things like that. And so what are the boundaries that we think that some of us should have? Firstly, not everything that happens in the bedroom leaves the bedroom. Okay, yeah. We need to respect. There's things that need respect, whether it's a fight, whether it's intimate, whether it's good, whether it's bad. There are things that you have to keep between the especially intimate. I ain't trying to know, but I ain't trying to see it like that. Like, yes. Catch yourself, bro. No. Some things, and it's also just in respect of your partner, especially as women, because when we sit, oh, my love, we can get very candid. But we need to then draw back to say, okay, how are they going to see my partner? How are they going to see my spouse? How does he want to be seen? That's good. You have to think of how he wants to be seen, not even how you want them to see him. Because we have desires. I want them to see him as macho, that he does the things in the bedroom, but maybe he doesn't want to be seen. But also, why? Why? It's weird what people want. And even with problems, this is why marriage is a tripod. It's you, God, and your husband. Yeah. So some things really need to stay in that triangle to keep it sacred. So not every problem leaves, because not everybody can solve it. Not everybody has answers to it. We find ourselves getting advice, not that it's malicious, but we find ourselves influenced by a decision somebody made for themselves, what they would do if they were in your position. But the truth is they aren't in your position. They don't know. You've just described that, okay, this is what's happening. But the feeling of it, the depth of the hurt or the depth of whatever magnitude of the problem, they technically don't know it. It's only until you're in somebody's shoes, you may know that, oh, this is what they were feeling.
But I can always sit on the other side and listen and say, maybe you should try this, unless I've walked the path. But not everybody has. Not everybody is going to have walked the path you're struggling with at that point. But that's also coming back to the beauty of community, that in your circle, you might find somebody who has.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, boundaries. I tell you so far, and then I say, Buli, can you pray for me?
Is there protocol for communication between spouses?
Sure. There should be.
Okay. What does it look like?
What
do you think it looks like?
Protocol.
What do you think it looks like?
Let me think about it. What's your take?
My take is, I have seen many friends come to me to say, hey, I just wanted to call you. I already called your husband just to let him know that I'll be speaking to you. And I'm like, why? But in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that's good. That's thoughtful. That's kind. That's careful. That's seeing a boundary that though we are friends, I'm honoring this woman as his wife. So I'm going to the right channel of protocol.
Yeah.
And again, it's not something like we're saying, this is people's lived experience are not doctrine for everybody.
Yeah.
But if you can take a principle that can sharpen you, then take it.
Yeah.
Right? It matters to not make our personal experiences doctrine, because then that's just weird.
Yeah.
But where you know that this can benefit you, then maybe use that. So that's how I've seen my husband's friends do that. I think for me it's different. I'm also an open book. So even if I speak directly to partner A, partner B will know. Even if I speak to a husband, partner A will know eventually, and they will know verbatim everything that was said. I think for me the protocol is honesty, and that things that I've said in front of you I can say in front of them, particularly when there's things like a disagreement and this one's not hearing me out. I'm like, no, I heard them out, and I'm encouraging you guys to speak. Oh, what did he say? You know, have a conversation. Have that conversation, and it matters to have that conversation. Those are the boundaries. I also, one that for me is, I'm not too picky on it, but I also do understand that when it's late and I'm contacting someone else's husband, and it is urgent, I'll send you don't have to respond, just wanted to let you know. And I apologize for sending a message too late. That's half past 8. But it's just one of those things that you're cognizant. Our behaving at wish is slashing. You know, you're not just like, she said, Tavin, let's just get jiggy with it. We speak to one another, whatever. So those are some of the boundaries and that we've put in place, that I know that I don't have a problem as well. If wives call my husband, most of the time they're calling him because they're like, my kid is sick.
Oh yes, yes. What do I need to take?
My kid is sick.
Yeah.
So I'm not bothered by that at all.
Yeah.
So again, those are my experiences and my takes. I do believe there is. Layer holidays is after.
Yes.
I don't know.
I think you said something very important or key ingredient or word to this. You said I. Me and my husband. It's very important to know your friends. I know that I can call Kev. When I'll give you the heads up. Hey friend, I'm gonna ask Kev sometimes I'll
even if you forget,
sometimes I'll do it after and say, oh, but I spoke to Kev. But with the next friend, it might be a total different story.
Absolutely.
You know, it might, with the next friend, it would be like, hey, honey, but you need to study.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's definitely in knowing the character of your friends. Knowing, and maybe their husbands as well don't like being, not everybody is going to be, you see, Kev is such a lovely human where you can just lay it all down and like, but some husbands are very, they need to be structured.
But even the wives, right? I was saying to a friend of mine, I think even if you had to listen, he'd know. I was like, man, I missed you, man. But I'm like, and I wanted to send you that text to say, bro, I miss you so much.
Yeah.
But I couldn't because I know my friend. She's going to say, you didn't tell me you missed me first.
Yes.
Right? And it's a small thing, but it's observing the protocol of things. It's not that I have to say I miss. I just know how she's wired.
Yeah.
I just know how my friends.
You need to know which fabric the couple is.
And you protect them, because again, we also don't know the experiences other couples have gone through.
So
right? There may have been instances, let's be honest, some couples experience infidelity, some others have issues with rebuilding trust, things like that. So it's one of those things where you have to really be honest to say, because they're in a sensitive space and I'm privy of that, I will do my due diligence.
So true.
To make sure that she is comfortable, even if I have to speak to him. Unless it's a surprise party, sorry.
Yeah, oh no, please relax yourself.
But it can't be a surprise party every month.
But my thing is, how you would iron cotton is not how you would iron linen. So we need to identify who's who.
Yeah.
Who do I have to first in Fafaza Manzi? And who can I just put the iron on? Can I just, you know what I mean? So that's in the learning of each other. That's in the beauty of community. We learn that, you know, there's a couple that leaves at 9. You know, it's lazy, and then
I know my friends.
Then you have a Lebo who doesn't mind 1 o'clock.
Can I just sleep?
Or those you have to prepare a room for. And that was us. We were like always there. Like, so it's in learning. And again, it's in learning each other. And if couple communities took the time to learn each other, it would be so good. Because then we'd understand, yes, we're not the same. We were brought by one thing. There's a foundation that brings us, that we all share. That is, we're probably going to share the same struggles somehow, somewhere in life. You may be 10 years into your marriage. We don't know who's facing winter in what year, who's facing summer in what year. But somehow it's going to meet us somewhere. But in that, what is your character and where is your heart placed in this community?
You mentioned there, that was us. So speaking on the next point, what happens when the one couple, when their dynamic changes, and there is a separation or whatever the case may be, what happens to the friendship couples group, or let me say the friendship as couples, and how can couples better support the partners? I know some dynamics might be a little bit easier. I'll explain why. But other dynamics may be hard.
That's
simply because we were all friends. And we don't know how to navigate that space. But how can we be there as couples? What I've seen from my sister, she shared openly on the platform, is that her couple mates said, you can't sit with us, you finna take our mans. Point blank period. That's what that was their behavior. And it was just a very painful thing for her, because for her, she's sitting like all these years. And it's like, tough crowd. How can we and how do we as couple friends support? Because I also don't think, and this is someone that I said to someone close to us, who said, we were friends because we were all married, but we are not, marriage is not what the friendship is about. We have built that friendship. So we are friends with you regardless now. You know? And it's just for us to learn how to navigate your current reality. So how do we do that?
Firstly, I think it's very important. I don't know whoever is transitioning out there and it feels like, oh, I'm alone. And it's so normal. Sometimes your friends aren't doing anything. It's just because now you feel like I don't belong there anymore. Maybe it's because I feel unworthy to be in that space. Or if sometimes not feeling unworthy, sometimes it brings up a state of grief. It brings whatever up that, I'd be sitting here with my spouse and we'd be laughing at times, and it would be like this, and things have changed drastically, and now it's no longer like that. So it brings up a lot of things. But then, like you said, I am Lebo before I am the wife. Buli got to know Ulebu. Do you understand? Kev got to know Lebo, Kev got to know Luanda, you got to know Luanda. We are individuals outside of this, that even in the community we had now built, everybody started getting to know each and everybody as an individual. Outside, we were doing brunches and lunches, and It's not even that, hospital visits with our kids now, because we started getting to know each other outside of this one thing. And if I had to advise any community or friendship group, is just keep being there. Sometimes it's not even just having the will to say, or having advice, but it's just assurance. Assurance that you need me. Do you need me to pick up Lebo today? Do you need, because obviously with the dynamic change between two people, there is many transitions and changes that happen for you, for your child, for so many things. So where you guys can fill in the gaps for either individuals, fill them. Try. You're not going to fill every gap, but try. I know with my friends, absolutely nothing changed. Instead I felt like, oh, I'm going through something in my life, so let me isolate. But when I went through my phase of unknowingly knowing myself and where I was at that point, no one in my circle changed. It was like, okay, friend, so where do you want me to go? Okay, you can't be there.
Because I remember when you first got married, everyone around you changed when you got married. But even with separation, or the hard times, some people were still around. That's just an interesting thing for me to having known about your story. But
like no one changed. I got married, everyone changed and left. And then I separate, no one leaves.
That's interesting.
And what does that tell you about their heart posture? For me.
For you. That is a
now I had to now come back and actually get out. And it's very important once you leave the point of shame. That's what cripples everything. Shame cripples everything. You can't speak, you can't. But once you leave the point of shame, you start seeing everybody that, oh, they're actually still here. And they see me. Okay, they understand this is what I'm going through. No matter what the result is of whatever's happening, nobody asked a lot of questions. They knew what was going on. They knew what was happening. But it's like, how can we be there? Do you just want me to just... I remember coming to your place and I just laid on the sofa. And you and Ayanda just sat there and
you even wanted maids at one point.
Yes, I did. And I wanted maids, and it's just all I needed. I just needed your presence. I just needed my friends. I looked shady. I looked crusty. No, we laughed after that, and we went our separate ways, and I felt whole again. And sometimes we don't need people to speak a lot. People think they need to say things. They need to counsel. They need to... No. Sometimes I just need your presence. I need you to just pick up the phone and say, hey, is everything cool? Lile, did you eat? Yeah, no, I ate. Okay, okay, cool. Do you need me to pick up your son? It's not even a language. Language changes. It's mine. Do you need me to pick up my son? Do you need to pick up Lulebo? And it's like, yes, okay, cool. Right, are you around, friend? I just want to come chill. Nothing much. Okay, fine. And that's what it is. Community doesn't always need to be counsel, but they just need to be present. And that's all we need.
I think that's what we said to one friend, to say to Tina, honestly speaking, asazi ukuthi isithini, but what I can do is cook you a mean dinner.
Oh yes.
Can cook you a mean dinner, so come through. And we're gonna experience this together, because we are not just friends because we're married, but we are just friends. And I think that's just what matters. It does become a little bit tricky if now, for example, there's a separation and there is a mutual friend thing, and now you found a spouse and then another found a spouse. And now it's like,
oh, why don't we white people this thing and hi?
That would be weird. That would be so weird.
How they do it?
I don't know. There's something in the water that they drink.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, they are gonna have to come and tell us how they manage it.
My thing is with transitions is that there is, I don't want to say everybody's loved, but then there is one spouse that is, or the other partners that's still gonna stay. There's one that's gonna pull away.
Right now, for example, it's easier in certain situations where the one spouse, and I'll say easier very, very respectfully, just the dynamic of everything that has happened, they have chosen to cut ties. And then we have one person to support. But supporting two people who are still going to go on their journeys and probably find other people, and we're managing that. That
and also try not to take sides, right?
And that one for me is that one. Yeah, that one for me.
Not to take sides.
Yeah,
because if they both become your friends, like that's how tight this community became. That dynamic ends up happening where the one person brings another person, because now I'm staying, I'm not going. I'm staying, I'm not going. I'm just gonna bring. I mean, but I'm here. But at the end of the day, I think it's about loving each other through all seasons. It's now finding our way around the current situation and the current issues. And that's why it's very important to create a strong bond with individuals outside of the union. That when such transitions happen, you're able to support the individuals, because that's what separation does. It's now no longer a one flesh thing. We're now two people that are trying to figure out, do we go, do we stay? Is it worth fighting for? Is it not worth fighting for? And you as friends have to find a way of supporting that.
You guys
somehow.
Through your journey.
I
think one thing that for me, definitely before we wrap or as we wrap, that I've just made it a point to say, I'm just there as a friend. I'm not there to tell you whether to go left or right. You tell me which way you're going, and I will stand with you, right? Unless the Lord tells me to say, thus saith the Lord. But apart from that, you're human beings. You make decisions. We can't force you, even if it may be God's will, right? You still decide whether you want to be in it. But I think for us, what we are learning is to also cultivate spaces that won't make the next person feel their current situation and what they're going through. So if it used to be date night at Tang all the time, because Tang is romantic and the lights are dim and everybody at the end of the night is cuddled up holding hands. No, we're not doing that. Let's go and play golf. Let's go and play golf, and it'll be gents against gents or random hats pulled, or let's go to Gold Reef City, because we still want to cultivate community without the awkwardness.
But it's also
the reality is that there will be some parts where I would come and say, we really did want to do a date night, so we're going, but I just wanted to let you know that we're going. I know that you wouldn't be comfortable. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
I think it's also just being realistic with your life as the individual, to say, this is my season. This is where I am, and I can't force certain things, until I'm at a place where I have fully all-roundedly healed, where I can be like, oh, nyangi bora, where it doesn't affect me, where it doesn't bring up grief anymore. Until God then sees me again with somebody else. But then it then has to be, your friends also cannot carry everything. You also have to be accepting of where you are. And make them understand that I understand, and I'm not going to be taking part of that right now. Maybe one day soon, but not now. So we have to be realistic as a community about the different seasons we're in, and that's what makes the community stick and stay.
And I think that's about it, my friends. That is another episode that we have. Let me know your thoughts. Couple friendships, again, just your thoughts. You're welcome to have your thoughts, your opinions, your experiences, and share them in the comments below. Is this something that you believe in the way I believe in? Is the hill I'm dying on? Or is this something that you're very cautious about? Because when you do have friends like this, you're letting them in your space. You're letting them in your life. And look, it is a risk. As I always say, love is a risk. Romantic friendship, but it's the hill I'm dying on personally.
Forever.
It's always going to be a risk. But I think once it's done right, it's definitely a risk worth taking. So let me know your thoughts and comment below on what you experienced or learned throughout the video. Can't wait for the next one, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me
on this beautiful platform.
I love everything. Everything feels so new and fresh. Happy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Till next time. Mwah. Bye.
Mwah.